All right, today we're cracking open the latest intelligence from the CrowdStrike 2025 Global Threat Report. And let me tell you, it points to a massive shift in cybersecurity. See, adversaries, they aren't just lone hackers in a basement anymore. Nope, they're starting to operate just like the big companies they target. So let's dive into what that really means.
The report kicks off with this quote, and honestly, it's the perfect way to frame this. Because in the digital world, just like out in the wild, underestimating your opponent, well, it can be a fatal mistake. And right now, the adversary is evolving faster than we've ever seen.
And this idea right here, this is the core of it all. We've got to stop thinking about cyber attacks as these random, chaotic things. What we're actually up against are organized, efficient, almost business-like operations. They've got goals, they've got focus, and they are laser-targeted. They are, for real, the enterprising adversary.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to look at how these adversaries are getting so much faster, how they're now targeting people instead of just code, what role AI is playing in all this, and then we'll pull back and see what the whole threat landscape looks like today.
Okay, let's start with speed. Because if there's one thing that has changed dramatically in the last year, it's the sheer velocity of these attacks. The window that defenders have to even notice something's wrong, let alone react, it's shrinking fast. And to really get this, you need to understand this term breakout time. Now, this isn't about how long it takes to get in. This is about what happens after they're in. It's that critical clock that starts ticking from the moment they get that first foothold to when they start spreading out. It is literally a race between the attacker and the defender. And this is why it's so alarming. The trend is just undeniable. A year ago, defenders had, on average, a little over an hour to respond. Think about that, 62 minutes. Now, that window has shrunk to just 48 minutes. That's a huge speed up in just 12 months.
But you know, the average doesn't even tell the whole story. The fastest breakout time they saw this year was a jaw-dropping 51 seconds. Just let that sink in for a second. An attacker got in and started moving to other systems in less than a minute. That's barely enough time to even process an alert. Forget about actually responding to it.
And this isn't just a theory. Here's how it plays out in the real world. A group they call Curly Spider has this process down to a science. I mean, look at this timeline. The entire attack, from that first con artist's phone call to setting up a permanent backdoor, it takes less than 4 minutes. They are literally on the phone with the victim, moving at lightning speed to get set up before the person even hangs up. You know, that last example is the perfect segue into our next point. That Curly Spider attack, it wasn't really a technical marvel. It was a psychological one. And that's a huge trend we're seeing. Adversaries are figuring out that it's just plain easier to hack a person than a piece of software. And the main weapon they're using for this is something called vishing. That's voice phishing. It's exactly what it sounds like. They use a phone call to build trust, create a sense of urgency, and trick someone into giving away the keys to the kingdom. And as you're about to see, it is working like a charm.
The numbers here are they're astronomical. A 442% increase in vishing attacks in just half a year. This isn't some slow-moving trend. This is an absolute explosion. Attackers found a playbook that works, and they are scaling it up with terrifying efficiency.
So if you want to defend against this, you have to understand the playbook, right? It usually starts with a spam bomb. They just flood your inbox to create a problem. Then you get a helpful call from IT support offering to solve that problem for you. They talk the user into giving them remote access. And once they're in, they move incredibly fast to create their own permanent way back in. It's simple, it's repeatable, and it is devastatingly effective.
Okay, now let's talk about the big one. The tool that's making all of this, the speed, the social engineering, so much easier and more scalable. Let's talk about generative AI. Because this isn't sci-fi anymore. AI is a weapon, and it's being used on the digital battlefield right now.
Wow, what a difference a year makes, huh? Last year, everyone was talking about Gen AI as a potential threat, something attackers were maybe playing with to, ask ChatGPT how to do something. But now, it's a fully adopted tool. The report actually calls it a force multiplier, and it's making really sophisticated attacks available to way more people.
So how are they using it? Well, it's not just one thing. It's helping them learn new hacking techniques faster. It's letting them scale up phishing campaigns by writing perfect, customized emails. We've even seen a North Korean group use AI to create incredibly convincing fake job candidates to try and get inside companies. And yeah, of course, it's being used to pump out disinformation to mess with elections.
Okay, so let's try to pull all these threads together. We've got incredible speed, a laser focus on hacking humans, and AI as a force multiplier. What does that mean for the big picture? What does the threat landscape actually look like today?
This chart right here, it tells such a powerful story. For years, we thought cybersecurity was all about antivirus, right? Stopping malware. But the game has totally changed. Just a few years ago, 40% of attacks were malware-free. Today, that number has shot up to nearly 80%.
And here's a quick snapshot of that new game. The whole cybercrime economy is just booming. A 50% jump in ads from people who literally just sell access into company networks. We're seeing huge surges from nation-state groups, and the sheer number of distinct adversary groups that we're tracking just keeps going up. It's a more crowded and way more dangerous field than ever before.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. We are now dealing with interactive intrusions. These aren't automated malware attacks anymore. These are real humans, with their hands on the keyboard, using legitimate tools, the same stuff your IT admin uses, to move around inside a network. They just blend in, which makes them incredibly hard to spot.
And that really leaves us with the big, hanging question from this whole report. We know the enterprising adversary is here. We know they're organized, they're efficient, and they're getting faster and faster. They are only going to accelerate next year. So the real challenge for everyone else is, can we keep up? That's the race we are all in right now.